followed by Cambodia.
Excellencies, distinguished guests, and dear youth advocates. We are deeply grateful to be able to join this conversation on behalf of young people in Romania, since it is our mission to bring their grassroots input to the table of discussions. As our consultation with young people revealed, these unprecedented times left them suffering from lack of access to education and employment, accentuating the need to find concrete solutions so that everyone has access to inclusive, innovative, and digitalized educational and professional processes. Besides all these fundamental needs, gender inequality, discrimination of all forms, and mistrust have deepened due to the spreading of misinformation, hate speech, and lack of genuine human interaction.
In spite of all this, Romanian young people work actively and restlessly to adapt. They donated their laptops to children so they can continue their education. They delivered groceries and they raised funds for medical equipment. And our former youth delegates, along with their teams, built face shields from scratch. Recently, in the local public administration elections, young people proved their implication both as candidates and as voters, and we are witnessing them returning with skills, vision, and meaningful experience in the rural areas. We believe that young people deserve their seat at the table, and as His Excellency Mr. Secretary General Antonio Guterres always says, I encourage you to misbehave. We hope that the glimpse we've shared today is standing proof that we are eager to bring a folding chair and, if needed, build a table.
Well, thank you so much, Madam Chair. Romania aligns itself with the statement delivered by the European Union, and I am glad that we were able to include a short intervention by our youth delegates in our statement, as Romania pays particular attention to youth. Throughout the world, the young generation of today faces both unprecedented challenges and opportunities. However, youth are now more resourceful than ever, and their adaptability, mobility, and technological skills are key assets. Romania has undertaken comprehensive measures aiming at equipping youth with knowledge about human rights, democratic citizenship, intercultural education, and the culture of peace. It is our belief that education, empowerment, and engagement are essential elements with the potential to foster meaningful participation of the young people in all spheres of the public life. Romania is devoted to mainstreaming and engaging youth throughout its foreign policy objectives and in all multilateral formats. In its current capacity as presidency of the Community of Democracies, my country has actively promoted the role of youth in democratic processes and decision-making. Madam Chair, overcoming the crisis generated by the COVID-19 pandemic will require a whole of society, whole of government, and whole of the world approach, driven by collaboration and solidarity. Our responses must be people-centered, gender-responsive, and in full respect for human rights in order to achieve a safer, better, and more sustainable future for all. Gender equality, the empowerment of women and girls, and the realization of their full potential will be essential to overcome this current crisis and rebuild more equal, inclusive, and resilient societies. In Romania, the principle of equal opportunities is enshrined at the legislative level and in public policy, as we underwent important steps to address issues related to gender equality, including domestic and gender-based violence. We established the National Agency for Equal Opportunities between Women and Men, which acts as a national integrating body and develops policies to address gender inequalities, prevent and combat domestic violence. My country has made important progress regarding the gender pay gap and is currently the European Union member state with the lowest gap when it comes to the remuneration of women and men. Empowerment of women was instrumental for the transition and democratization of Romania's economic, political, and social life. As a Romanian diplomat, I am proud to be part of a gender-balanced diplomatic service. Currently, Romania has more women diplomats than men, and the representation is quite equal in all management positions at headquarters and abroad. In fact, the diplomatic team of Romania to the United Nations also reflects this reality, as you have more women diplomats than men, and my excellent deputy is a woman. Another aspect I would like to mention is the need to guarantee the freedom of expression and freedom of the media, while countering both offline and online the spread of infodemic or misinformation and disinformation pandemic. As there is life after the pandemic, we have to use the lessons learned in 2020, among which of a paramount importance are those related to the respect of human rights principles that protect our core democratic values. Dear colleagues, now more than ever, we need to renew our commitment to the pillars of democracy and to work together for the promotion and protecting human rights, good governance, accountability, and the rule of law. And I thank you, Madam Chair.
I thank the distinguished representative of Romania, Your Excellency. Thank you for your statement. I give the floor now to the distinguished representative of Cambodia, followed by